Hi and welcome back to this week's edition of Nordic Market News. It is the 1st of June and we are recording this at the studio of Direkt on behalf of Infront Finance. Let's take a look at the Nordic indices for the week and year to date. Again, another week where there really has not been much movement. All the numbers have yet again been floating around the zero mark, with Stockholm standing out with minus 1.9% for the week halfway through Friday. As for the year-to-date numbers, Helsinki is still leading the way with plus 9.5% and Oslo not so far behind. On the other end of the spectrum, we have Copenhagen at minus 3.4%. Monday arrived, and while US stock markets were closed for Memorial Day, Nordic markets were nervous as the political climate in Italy worried the markets. Copenhagen fell hard at around 1.5%. The biggest loser was biotech company Genmab, who regrettably informed markets that their cancer treatment study had failed to produce any results and therefore has been cancelled. The stock fell almost 20% as a result. While many weather-sensitive companies suffered by an exceptionally long and cold winter, summer has now arrived very gratefully in the Nordics. The weather brought positivity to the Norwegian stock market and especially in the seafood sector. Pareto Securities wrote in a comment regarding the production of salmon that temperatures in the ocean is rising and as a result, we expect higher sales and growth in the coming months. Stocks such as Bakkafrost, Salma and Greek seafood are advanced. Political worries weighed heavy on Tuesday. Losses were minimal on the Oslo Stock Exchange since it was way less exposed to the bank and finance sector, which is the most affected by the political climate in Italy. Instead, the OBX is heavily reliant on the price of crude oil, where Equinor, earlier known as Statoil, advanced more than 1%. Industry giant SKF weighed heavy on the OMXS30 as they reported declining demand and thus chose to adjust their production rate accordingly. This caused a widespread worry in other industry stocks which fell as a result. On Thursday, Nordic stock indices were slammed as the US will indeed apply drastic steel and aluminium tariffs for the EU, Canada and Mexico starting the very next day, which was today, the 1st of June. The EU answered by implementing tariffs of their own. There was some optimism in Italy as the Italian parliament happily announced that they are closing in on an agreement and may be able to form a government shortly after all. So, with a few hours left of trading on Friday, Nordic stock markets seem to have found some relief. After 8 full days of decline, the OMXS30 is up almost 1% in lieu of positivity regarding the Italian election. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next Friday. Have a great weekend.